Twitch broadcast.
Astros win.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the One Take Podcast, episode 64. Last week I said 64 and I lied to you. This week is 64. Not that it matters. What does matter, though, is that we are joined by Matthew is Bear. Matthew is Pod today. He's joining us for the first time since like our Elf episode is what we were saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Only 3 people call me Matthew. Okay. My mother, my wife when I'm in trouble, and my therapist. So let's keep that to 3. What's going on, y'all? It's been a minute. I really like that y'all have continued. Y'all switched up. Y'all joined.
Apollo HOU. Shop Apollo HOU for all your Houston merch.
Big shout out for you guys. That's awesome. The only new thing really in my life is that I have fallen down the TikTok rabbit hole. Like I got my shit curated.
No, don't do it.
I have my shit curated perfectly. Right? It's funny white dude, funny non-white dude, funny white lady, funny non-white lady, boobies, something helpful about fixing up your house, boobies again, and then it restarts the cycle. And it's dialed in, y'all. TikTok is perfect. I don't care if the Chinese know all my information. There's nothing really else to know about me. It's fine. It anyway. I don't care. Exactly. They have it anyway. So that's really the only new thing in my life. But man, I'm happy to be here. It's gonna be fun.
Speaking of data mining, that's exactly what this movie is about.
I didn't even intend to do that, but you're exactly right.
We are doing The Mitchells versus the Machine, a 2021 animated classic. I'm going to call it a classic. I'm going to call it a classic because I really, really like this film. And I think it will withstand the test of time. But right now it is sitting at a 7.9 on IMDb. But I should ask first, Dex and Tej, how we doing? We doing okay?
We're good. We're supporting Florence Pugh. We're waiting for Black Widow. And we are filling time in the interim, and we're good.
Yeah, things are going good over here. I got a job interview in the morning. I took PTO for my current job next week. I'm just cloud nine right now. I'm excited.
It feels like that for everybody else. It seems like everybody's kind of like waiting for summer to start. Like summer hasn't started yet. Everybody's like, how many people have the vaccine? Can we go out? Can we get great? Like it seems like everybody's on that precipice of summer hasn't quite started yet, but it's about to.
Man, I gotta tell you, a bunch of people around Waco are just like masks. Nah, ain't me.
Yeah,
never heard of it.
I didn't. That was a pothole I didn't mean to step into, but you're probably right.
It's already started. People are just like, "Ooh, we're done. We're outside."
Fair enough.
Yeah. So
shout out to Nelly playing a concert in Waco of all places.
You know how it goes.
Good Lord, it's basically like the equivalent of T.I. and Rihanna being in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Was that a joke or is that actually true? Because I've looked at.
It's a good song choice. He's talking about the song they play.
Live your life.
Yeah. Okay. I was worried.
Great song choice.
Because I can't support anything T.I. related. I'm sorry.
Well, you did because this song is in this film. They mostly only played the Rihanna part, but it is his song.
The Mitchells versus Machines came out this year. Of course, it's on Netflix, so they just have not marketed this movie whatsoever. Like, I don't know how they have done that. It's not even really on the first page of Netflix. A quirky, dysfunctional family's road trip is upended when they find themselves in the middle of the robot apocalypse and suddenly become humanity's unlikeliest last hope. It is written and directed by Michael Rianda and Jeff Rowe. It is, of course, a Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. I think is that how you pronounce it? It's Lord and Miller.
We are Lord and Miller Hive over here.
Yeah, it is a Lord and Miller animated banger. Christopher Miller and Phil Lord. They at this point can do no wrong with animated movies, if I'm being honest. It has an 81 Metascore on Metacritic, which is very, very high. Stars Abby Jacobson, Danny McBride, Maya Rudolph, Eric Andre. Everyone's in the. Olivia Colman is in this movie.
Yeah,
She's the phone. She's the bad guy.
She's pal. John Legend, Chrissy Teigen, Fred Armisen, Blake Griffin. Conan O'Brien, and the most famous one, Doug the Pug.
Shout out to the
Incredible
legend.
performance.
So this is how I know y'all like deserve a movie podcast, because y'all are like, oh yes, this director that we know who other directors other than Spielberg are. Like I'm just like, hey man, it's an animated movie. The kids were okay with it being on the TV. That's where I am with movies.
And that is why we have you on the podcast, animated expert, animated mom expert. We will get that breakdown a little bit later. That's the After Hours pod.
I think the term you used was lowest common denominator, and I'm okay with that.
Netflix shelled out a lot of money for this. They got the big guns in. They got the big gun directors. They got a pretty stacked cast, and it was clear that they wanted this to be a banger, which doesn't really explain why nobody knows that this movie exists. I don't get it.
Has 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, 89% audience score. Eye-catching and energetic, The Mitchells vs. Machines delivers a funny, feel-good story that the whole family can enjoy. And I got to be honest, just before we start our reviews, I laughed out loud at this movie several times. So if you're
multiple times,
yeah. So if you're, it's not just a kids animated movie. Like you will. This is one of those ones where if you're having to watch with kids, you'll want to pay attention because it is so funny. One downside though is it is an hour and 53 minutes long. Let's start there. Matt is Bear. Go ahead. Review and letter grade, please, sir.
40,000 foot view here. A concept that's probably too big for a kid's movie, unless you're like 12 or 13 years old or older. But honestly, like, it had moments that redeemed it. Like I like you said, I laughed out loud multiple times. Won't dig into all of it, but you can just tell that this movie was made by people who experienced their coming of age, like in the late 90s, or it was influenced by people who came of age, like mid to late 90s, early 2000s, and just think about things and write things in the way that like younger parents think about it. Very enjoyable movie. I like a strong B plus, probably deserves an A, but strong B plus is what I'd give it. Really, really enjoyed it.
Tej, you don't like this movie as much. You said it was too long. You're kind of down on it, but
and then you texted me that you hate kids and like this shit was trash. I hate you. I hate your kids. And I was trying to figure out why you texted me that, but it's okay.
First of all, this is a perfectly fine movie. I don't hate it. I'm not saying that.
He also said something about the Eyes of Texas being valid.
This movie has heart. The family storyline is really cool. The kind of a young woman trying to work through her differences, not just her sexuality, but just being different and what that means is like really cool. And that stuff of this movie really captured me, really worked for me. What didn't really work is A, the length, but also B, the phones, technology is the bad guy, storyline just kind of doesn't work for me. And I think that this movie, before the phones come, was on pace to be like a super amazing, heartfelt road story movie, a road trip movie that I was going to really enjoy.
Then you go write it.
And then when the tech,
you go write it. You go write the movie without the phones.
When the technology part of the movie hit, I was like, well, obviously I knew it was going to happen because of the name of the film, but that part didn't work as well for me as the interpersonal family dynamic was really what I was there for. Kind of the self-exploration is what I was there for. I wasn't necessarily there for it was a bit ham-fisted to me, the way that that part of the plot is set up, mostly because the guy who invented this technology is just played as like he's played by Eric Andre, but he's just like a dumbass doofus who kind of has no ill will or ill intent, which doesn't really make sense to me. they basically absolve that character of all wrongdoing by having him be like, my bad. And
hold
the
on,
bad
hold on.
guy
I'm just taking notes here. Okay. Self-exploration, ham-fisted.
The bad guy is literally a cell phone. Like the bad guy is the dude who created all this. Like I didn't understand that.
TJ did not like a black character as the CEO of a large company. Okay, I'm just making sure I got it all down. That's all I'm saying.
Although I love this cast, I do not find Eric Andre funny, and I don't think that they gave him much to do in the role.
Handshake on that. Handshake on Eric Andre being just.
But I will say,
the most
Abby
normal
Jacobson
he's ever
is a
been
queen. Abby Jacobson is a queen. Give her more movies. Give her more everything. Broad City's the funniest show of all time. That's all I'll say. I'll give it a B.
It's the most normal Eric Andre performance of all time. Honestly.
Yeah, they could have gave that role to Dex and it would have been just as funny.
And
I was watching the whole time, like, why is that not Keegan Michael Key or whatever his name is? that should have been him.
But yeah, he does say a line, Teach, that you mentioned where he's like, maybe unchecked growth for these technology companies was a bad idea. You're like, okay. But
it's funny, but it's not a joke. Like that's just that's just how you think about things. Like I don't know
how that space works.
You see the TikTok, it's a funny joke. It's a good one even. All right. Dex, go ahead, man.
I really like this movie. I've liked it more and more the more I thought about it and like seeing kind of all the little like movie nods they put into it. Like Royden shared a YouTube video with us about like dozens and dozens of fucking just small movie nods they put in the shit for no reason or like nods.
People that made this are film nerds for real.
Whatever. Yeah, it's like Quentin Tarantino levels of like, I know shit. Here it is.
Mm-hmm. Intolerable.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I laughed out loud at this shit multiple times. I thought like the animation, like the art style of it is just really cool to look at, just pleasant on the eyes. It's a lot different than what you normally see in animated movies or whatever. You're used to. Like,
have any of y'all played the video game Borderlands?
Yes.
Yeah.
It gave me that vibe. Really enjoyed that.
Cloudy with the chance of meatballs is what I was going to say.
Yeah, like 3D but with cell shading. It was really good.
It's dope.
Me making fun of movie nerds, and I'm sitting here talking about video game art styles.
No, but you're right. And there's a couple of things though too that you can tell these people came up in like the early 2000s with their movie, like, because all of the like they call it Katie animation or whatever her name, Katie I think
Vision.
Is Katie Vision. Thank you.
Katie Vision
is that, and I'm not to interrupt you, Dex, but to interrupt you, they say the Katie Vision, all of that, it looks like movie posters like Juno and all of those posters from like 2007 is what I was thinking every single time. Like, you ever watch the movie, and nobody watched it, but it was with Anton Yelchin, it's Charlie Bartlett or whatever. But yeah, that's what it looks like. And or like, just go any of those indie movies from 2007, like Juno or anything like that. That's what that animation looks like. I thought it was really creative. Anyway, Dick, sorry.
Yeah, and they like randomly insert like deep fried memes into this.
Yeah,
like just at random points, or like
that probably should be something that we hit more in depth. Is this the first movie to like really celebrate like meme culture?
Yes.
I don't know.
It can't be. It literally can't be.
It probably isn't, but it felt like it.
I mean, Booksmart the one to do it the best. Like
Booksmart definitely has memes in it.
Yeah, Booksmart has memes in it, but it feels like this movie, like, it's entirely built on memes. Like, the whole thing is one giant meme.
A continuous meme, yeah.
It's just one continuous meme, and they just keep adding just more and more little memes for no reason. Like, we have a fucking Furbies. Like, nobody's thought about Furbies in decades.
That Furby scene was amazing.
And they just make Furbies, like, the scariest shit ever for no reason. It was amazing. But yeah,
that joke was written by somebody who was woken up in the middle of the night by a Furby.
I cackled. I
love that scene. That might be my favorite scene. That scene was awesome.
That reminded me of like my aunt. She was a weirdo, and in the early 2000s, she had a Beanie Baby room, and literally just a room specifically for her giant collection of Beanie Babies, and that would be the room that they would send the kids to sleep in during family gatherings. So I'd just wake up, middle of the day, like, why the fuck am I surrounded by a fucking wall of Beanie Babies? And that Furby scene took me back to some dark places.
Is she a millionaire now? Did she sell those for millions of dollars?
Nah, she
because no one did.
Still has a lot of them. It's very unfortunate, but yeah, that's her thing, and we let her have her thing. Shout out to Annette. She didn't listen to this podcast, but yeah, man, the story was adorable to me. I liked the humor in it, but it went on way too long. We got to like that final scene where they're in the big rhombus tower battle thing, and it ended like 5 different times. They should have wrapped it up a lot sooner than they did, but you know, it still had its cool heartfelt moments after that. The epilogue where she's actually in school or whatever, like it felt like we could have got to that like 45 minutes earlier, but it was still cute. I give the movie an A-, probably. It's in the A tier for me, but they definitely could have chopped like 30 minutes off this movie.
Can I give a quick just comment as to why mine was a B+ and not an A-? There's
Go for it.
Two things. One, we've already hit on it. The editing probably could have been edited down minimum 30 minutes. And look, the Mrs. Mitchell, they put a sweatshirt around her waist the entire movie.
All right.
I'm just saying. It felt intentional. It felt intentional to a very specific audience. And I'm just saying.
Are you in that audience?
Look, I'm saying
he's not in that audience.
I'm not commenting on that audience. Look, hey, we're making movies to make money, right? That's what we're doing here, right? Okay.
Yes.
We want to bring the audience to Netflix to watch this film. And all I'm saying is, if you have Maya Rudolph,
oh my god,
if you have Maya Rudolph play the character,
Cass, by the way,
you can't put a sweatshirt around her waist. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, she is Aunt Cass, though. By the way,
please continue.
She is.
Thank you.
Your queen.
Thank you. Please continue.
It's like somebody at Sony was like, "Have you seen what the fuck they're doing over at Pixar? We cannot do that."
This one dude in Austin made a bracket. He made a bracket on Twitter. We can't do this shit anymore.
We can't feed into the debauchery. We cannot do it. We cannot be part of the Twitter discourse.
I'm glad that they did not. I'm glad that they covered her up. Although it seems weird you could just draw her differently, just not put a sweatshirt over her. But whatever. I'm fine with the decision.
Look, it's there. Look, hey, Sony's like, hey, it's there. But ...
Maybe they couldn't get the one kind of ass man that Pixar has, that they're just like, we can't do it the same.
The ass consultant.
Yeah, we just can't do it the same.
Pixar has spent decades developing the technology for mom ass, and Sony just can't replicate it yet. They just
after the Invincibles, you should be able to do mom ass as big as you want to in these films, because the way that they drew her hips, like, come on, bro. Like, we all know what comes from those hips. We understand. We know.
They did it in
our wagon algorithm is proprietary.
Pixar saw the original cut and sued them immediately and said, "I know that ass anywhere. Nice fucking try."
Who do you have in the Disney vault?
Cease and desist.
You will be hearing from the Mouseketeers about this.
Oh my god.
Okay.
The Disney
Please
police.
Continue.
The Disney law. The thing that I will say about this that I think they did better, and we talked about, and TG touched on it a little bit, and just to talk about some things that maybe y'all haven't talked about. I give this movie an A-. I'm right there with you, Dex. The more that I think about it, the more that I think I'll rewatch this movie, actually. Like, I don't normally go back to many animated movies outside of, I don't know, Toy Stories, or I may have to rewatch Soul again. It's not touching on huge themes, but the themes that are in the movie are done so well that I think it's kind of glanced over a little bit. Like, the main character is gay, I mean, it's obvious because
real?
there's rainbow.
I was even like, it didn't even pull my attention to that.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
When she says at the beginning, she says, "I've always been different," and they show a massive rainbow.
Right?
Like, that's when I was like, "Oh, she's gay."
And that's just one. That's one thing, and you just don't have to. I mean, she's wearing a rainbow pin and everything else too.
She wears a rainbow pin. They mentioned they
referenced it at the end.
Name at the end. Yeah,
yeah. They said, "Are you guys?" She said, "Are you guys still together? Or are you official?"
Are y'all official? Yeah, it's just a thing that's on the side. It's just nice. We don't have to make
Matt
a big
was
deal.
too busy looking for asses to notice the little touches of the
subtlety.
I appreciate that they didn't make that a big deal. It's just like,
same.
She's gay. It's over. It's done. Nobody cares.
You know, because you know who doesn't care? Your children. The children in your life do really not give a shit. They're like,
they don't care.
For real.
R.I.P. Aziz Ansari, but he had a joke that's like, dude, every single movie that I could ever watch is on my phone. Why do I give a fuck?
Did you just say R.I.P. to a living person because he got canceled?
Yeah. I did.
It fits though. It fits.
That's incredible.
But
incredible.
He had a bit that was like, why would I care about gay people or who people want to have sex with? They're like, everything that I ever need is in front of me right now. And you know who doesn't care? Your kids and Gen Z. But I will say this movie is it's a great mix. The more I text that it needed to, that it was the most Gen Z movie ever, which I think is true because it is one big sort of meme in this sort of absurdist humor that has kind of been incorporated into Gen Z humor. You can find it all over TikTok. But like this movie was made for people on TikTok. But also I was thinking, like Matt was saying, this was made by people in the net because there's Furby references. There's stuff like this was made by people that grew up watching indie films come up through the 90s and the 2000s, and they really appreciate that film. So it's really a great blend of the millennial Gen Z and even the iPad generation humor because it holds the attention of 5-year-olds. So like it's all there.
If you're making a movie for Gen Zers and the TikTok generation, then I really don't understand why this movie comes in at an hour and 53.
Yes,
that's
where the millennial
20 minutes. And yes, because that had to be for us because those kids do not want to sit there for 2 hours. Like even if they're having a great time, it's a perfectly fine movie. But I just feel like it's obviously we've seen that playbook in Pixar and like the Lego movies. Like make it for kids, but put enough in there so that adults are entertained. They're not just sitting there on kid duty. Like make them entertained by the film as well. So you could tell they were trying to balance between like entertain millennials, but also entertain Gen Z. And I thought they did a pretty good job of that balance. Other than the runtime, I thought they did a pretty good job of that balance.
I will say the main thing is that of course this isn't dealing with huge. I mean, in and of itself, the intrusiveness of media and social media and technology in your life is a big theme, but it's something that we've seen, like you were saying, Tej, done so much that we get it. We know it's not Pixar. We're not touching on what is the meaning of life. Where do you go when you die? Which is like what Soul did recently. We're not doing that, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with not having Pixar being like, hey, someday we're gonna die, and you got to be like, fuck. All right, I got to call my mom. This was just like, all right, this was great. It was. Did
anyone die in this movie? Do y'all think that when the explosions were happening, when the robots first landed, did anyone die in those? Because like
mass casualties.
There were no casualties in this movie, but people had to die. Like even if it's just like people having a heart attack because robots are taking over the earth, quite literally, like there had to be dead people. But of course, they're not in the film, which I understand.
When that ship like crashed out of the sky at the end, there's no way that they like equip those pods with like safety features.
Yes,
like, people are dying,
just walk
bro.
off. Like people are.
There's no airbags in these hoes. Like y'all are done. You're done.
Not in these streets.
Implied if you're over the age of like 11.
Yeah, there's implied deaths. A lot of people.
Thank you, the Mitchells, for saving us. But you really didn't shut this down in a great fashion. There are thousands.
Like they literally just crashed down. Like a lot of people died.
Yeah,
Chrissy Teigen did not die though. That's what matters.
Yeah. Yeah, that being Chrissy Teigen and John Legend is a very funny bit that the writers put in there. Yeah, that they put in there on purpose. But you said Abby Jacobson. This voice cast, I think, is perfect. I think like you don't really notice that sometimes, like other than I said, like Toy Story or something that is classic now that, oh, this is cast perfectly. I thought this was great. I thought they performed well, which is hard to do because of how many takes they do when they film these movies and how long they're doing it. And you ever listen to Tom Hanks talk about what it takes to make a animated film? It's easy work and easy money, but it's also like they have those dudes in those studios for 9-hour day, 10-hour days, like screaming the same lines over and over. So like that would, I'm good. But like, I think this voice cast, I think they just meshed well. I don't know what it was. I think it was just great. And also having, I heard this on another podcast, the director is the voice of the son, the little kid. And just having him be like an adult voice is very funny. Just being like the Bob's Burgers, like, oh, this is clearly an adult person. Like, I thought that was very funny. And yeah, just some of the humor, man, it really, like, I can't get over the Furby scene is like the Dark Order or whatever that is. It's like just so absurd.
So I love like the occult and Raiders of the Lost Ark, like all of the Indiana Jones movies, with the exception of the Alien one, are like right in my niche, right? I love that. And so like, we must call upon the elder Furby. That shit had me cackling. It was back to the darkness I returned. That I don't know what it was about that scene. The massive Furby with the pain only makes me stronger. Like every stupid subtitle they had for the Furby scene had me absolutely cackling. My wife actually started laughing at me, laughing at the movie because it was so good.
When that Furby came out, and she says, "Why would somebody make this?" Yeah. I was laughing so hard.
I love that type of humor. Addressing something that is clearly like absurd is always funny. Like, we're like, what is going on?
I just want to read y'all something. I'm on the Wikipedia page for Furbies right now. So there was the initial creation in 1998, and they sold 2 million in 1998 and 14 million of them in 1999. So that spun off a entire subsection of Furbies called Other Furbies. And I just want to read this off for you real quick. Furby babies, Furby friends, Emototronic Furbies, Emototronic Furby babies, Emototronic funky Furbies, 2012 Furbies, Furby party rockers, Furby boom, Furblings, Furby boom crystal, Furby boom crystal Furblings, Furbaka, and Furby Connect.
We are in the wrong business.
Oh, kids' toy, absolutely, dude. That's
what was the one?
The Furby Connect, like Xbox Connect.
Is Furbaka like a Furby Chewbacca? Because
definitely
I need to purchase that.
You think I'm clicking on that? You think I want that to be purple? Yes. Okay, fine. In June 2015, a Furby that resembles Chewbacca from Star Wars was released. It is similar to the Furby Boom because it can hatch Furblings with the same app and more. It is known as the Wookiee Furby and the new Furby friend. Please move the fuck on to the next subject.
The Furblings is going to be in my brain for a long time. The bit with, I mean, they, of course, we got to talk about the animation. We'll do that in a second, but the final bit with how they kill the robots, of them not being able to recognize if the dog is a dog or pig or a loaf of bread, is a very funny bit where they're like, what is it?
What is it? They just recorded my wife trying to figure out what I am. That's how they did the entire scene.
So are you a loaf of bread or what are you?
It's the closest we could find out.
Let's see.
I really like when the vacation, or when the road trip starts and she cuts to like our disastrous vacation, like literally everything is going wrong. That montage is so funny, man. Like
Prancer belongs to the canyon now. And the horse is drowning
so badly.
I was rolling in my bed when that shit happened. I was like, I fucking
Really
love this
good.
movie already.
Really good.
But also, I was watching that movie like, y'all were just gonna just put her on a plane and tell her to go to college. Like, that's it. Does that happen? I feel like
it happened back in the like 70s. My parent or my grandparents loaded up my dad's car and said, "All right, go to Waco."
I mean, a car is different, but just like a plane, just where I guess we'll just mail all your shit like that.
I had a I had a Korean roommate my freshman year of college. He showed up with 2 duffel bags and no sheets for his bed.
Wow.
He's like, "Hi." "What's up, man?" He's like, "All right, I'm here." It didn't have shit. He's just like, "I guess I got to go to the store."
Yeah, I mean, we all went to the store. Like that's one of the first things you do.
We did go to the store.
Shout out to
just 4 guys going to the store,
doing things.
Just talking about going to the store, man.
Jesus, I don't know. The dumb robots too were a funny kind of gag. That was Fred Armisen was one of the robots. The other guy,
and Blake Griffin was the other one, right? No, Blake Griffin is the newer, nicer robot.
Blake Griffin were the attack robots.
Yeah,
the one the brothers run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the animation a little bit. The animation is very similar to me. I mean, you said Borderlands. I really kind of actually agree with that, where the backgrounds are sort of painted watercolors is what I was watching a video because I don't know this. The backgrounds are sort of these watercolor-esque paintings, whereas the actual people stick out a little bit more. And I thought that was very cool how they did that. But this reminds me, I mean, another Lord and Miller production, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. This is just a heightened version of that for sure, right?
Yeah, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs came out in what, like
07?
Yeah, somewhere around there. So they've gotten way better at it, clearly. And then like it also kind of reminded me of Into the Spider-Verse a little bit. Into the Spider-Verse is a little more comic book looking, obviously, because of the subject matter. But this one, like, it seems like they figured something out with Into the Spider-Verse, and they're like, people love that shit. We're just gonna do it again. And they're right. I love that shit. They should do it again.
Yeah, when they touch things and like there's different like explosions and things like that, like the Katie Vision or whatever it was called. Yeah, but Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs came out in 2000.
Just because I know some idiot on Twitter is going to be like, that's not cell shading. I'm looking back at the movie. It's not cell shading. I'm sorry I said that. I regret it. I'll post an iPhone notes apology here after the episode.
I expect to see that apology. Thank you.
Okay.
So much,
I still don't know what cell shading is. I just know they talked about that shit in like the Xbox announcement, and I was like, this shit looks amazing. Whatever the fuck it means, I want one.
But the thing with, I don't know. It's interesting because it's like you watch a Pixar movie and Pixar has done the thing where it's like, we're going to make everything hyper realistic, except basically for the characters, where it's like, because if we made these characters as hyper realistic as everything else in this movie, you would freak out because there is an uncanny valley there that we just don't want to cross yet. That's why it's like in Pixar, it's like, and here where they look more cartoonish, but in like the Pixar movie, like Soul, everything looks great, except for, the characters are sort of, they have these round features and they don't quite look like they're real people. Whereas this, they're like, all right, this is a cartoon. We're just going to make it try to look as great as possible. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, like with Brave, they made her hair look like the most realistic hair you've ever seen in an animated movie, and then they made her face look like the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah,
so you wouldn't be completely creeped out.
That took a turn I was not expecting.
Oh man. So yeah, what do y'all think about this brand of humor as far as we progress forward? Because this is one of the, actually to me, and this is one of the better comedy movies I think I've seen in a long time. I mean, it's right up there with like the Lego movie and stuff, because like these comedies, and Lord and Miller continue to do that. These comedies don't come out anymore. They don't come out in movie form anymore. It's long form, things like that. But this is one of the better like actual comedies that I think I've seen in a long time. This brand of humor, I don't know, it tickles something in me that I actually absolutely love.
not going away. The Spider-Verse movie comes out next year. They're gonna do another Lego movie, I believe, it's been announced. It's that kind of humor. It's that kind of like stack as much pop culture into there as you can.
TJ, I think you are maybe like a year or two older than me, maybe potentially. You might be like right around my age, what I'm going to call equal to my age. I personally feel like I was born on the last possible day, hour, and minute of the age cutoff, wherever it happens biologically, to think that is actually funny, because I'm like right on that line of like, that I laughed at that. That was dumb. I should not have laughed at that. Like at the exact right there. Mm-hmm. And when they did deregulate tapioca, like in the video at the very end of the movie,
oh yeah,
like I laughed at that shit. Like I shouldn't have. It's dumb. It doesn't make sense. It's random. I get it. It's like it's the Gen Z, like the epitome, right, of randomness, but not saying random LOL. Like I get it, but I'm at the very end. So this isn't your like preferred style, is what I'm hearing, Teach.
No, I thought the jokes per minute are perfectly fine in this movie. Like the references are funny, the pop culture stuff is funny. I found it to be a funny movie. I guess if I'm looking for this style of movie, I'm just going to prefer the way it's presented in the Lego movie, which is even more ridiculous and has even less of a plot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it makes it easier for them to just get their jokes off, because like nobody remembers or cares about the plot of the Lego movie. Versus this movie does actually have a plot, and the plot does feed into the larger story. In the Lego movie, you don't care. Like you don't care about the plot, so you just focus on the jokes, which is perfectly fine. I think that allows them to open it up to like the next year. But I think the jokes are fine in this movie. I think it's a perfectly fine watch. I was high. I wasn't like knee slapping like Royden was, but I was laughing. There were definitely a lot of laughing.
Hey now.
I wasn't like knee slapping though.
Hey like, now, do not pretend your humor is elevated.
Okay, you're cool. I'm not, we get it.
I was just
you're super cool. It's a kids movie. You hate it. It's fine.
When we rewatched 21 Jump Street, I was literally on the floor laughing. So I'm not. My humor is not elevated. Like I like dirty, trashy humor, but like 21 Jump Street, that hits different for me. Like I had to pause it because I was laughing so hard. Like that's a different.
Good heavens! It's a children's movie. I can't laugh at that. I went to Duke.
Movies. I don't want y'all to think I don't like children's. I love children's movies. I'm obsessed with Pixar. I watch every Marvel film. It's not that.
There was.
Are just like, we're not finger popping each other's assholes.
Yeah.
No, that was in this movie. I was like, holy shit, this movie's a classic.
This was made for people that grew up, like by people that grew up on YouTube 1.0, for people that grew up on YouTube 2.5. I don't know how you quantify that, but you know what I'm talking about.
Now? Are we at YouTube 17?
Yeah, 8. But you know what YouTube 1.0 was, like salad fingers and all that.
Pre-Vine, I think. It's just if you had to make it one pre-Vine, and then when the Vine compilations, when the Vine compilations started popping up on YouTube, that was era 2.
Man, that was a great time.
And that pretty good. And now TikTok compilations are popping up on YouTube, and so now that's how you classify YouTube. Damn, I'm good. Just did it. The sociologists have been working on that for years. I just solved it.
This movie's humor is what we thought all like internet humor was going to be when we were watching iCarly back in the day.
Exactly.
We were all like, nothing makes sense. No, it doesn't matter.
No, I disagree.
I'm right there with you.
You retract that. Yes, I agree, because I
watched it.
I didn't have cable. We were poor.
But yeah, iCarly, it was like nothing makes sense. It's all random. They're just dancing now for no reason. Who knows? No one knows. Like they're talking about smoothies or whatever, and it's funny. Like it's dumb, but I don't know. It just works for, I think, people like right around our age, like me and Royden's age, probably. That's what we grew up on. Yeah, it just works.
The tapioca.
Deregulate tapioca.
But they were also making fun of like YouTube videos that like that. So
yeah, it's
actually good.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought this movie was really fucking funny, to be honest. Just like all the just random ass little bits that they throw in there, like the kid like self-destructing basically every time he talked to the neighbor kid. Like it was hilarious to me.
As a previous pug owner, literally every pug joke is funny. Like All the stuff with the bug was funny.
Like even their dog is more in shape than us, and the dog's doing push-ups.
Push-ups.
A fly flies into the dog's open mouth. Yeah, I mean that's so the funny. I wrote down so many like sight gags and stuff in this movie that I don't even know. I don't even remember what I was talking about. But like it they go, we're gonna shoot you directly into space, black void forever. But we have free Wi-Fi. He's like, oh, that's good.
Those two random dudes like trying to start the new world order and sacrifice to the Wi-Fi god or whatever the fuck. I was dying.
Somebody held up a plate, said, "Can somebody help me take a picture of my food?" And that was like, all right. But one of the funniest ones that I laughed at that I don't know if anybody else would is like, oh no, the Roombas are coming, and they all fall down the stairs.
They're like, oh gosh,
okay,
so embarrassing.
But yeah, the Furby's going, we must have vengeance. Let the dark harvest begin. Into the darkness I return. And the scream that the Furby lets out is the funniest. There's like, ah!
it felt eternal, guttural, ancient, terrifying.
Ancient, yeah. Oh man. The robots like talking in broken sentences. The purple glasses woman make eye water is very funny. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that Lord and Miller, and of course they didn't write this. The people that wrote this also are in charge of some of the better shows on like Disney Channel and stuff like that. Like they did, they do Gravity Falls and stuff like that. But Lord and Miller, I think, have such a great grasp of what maybe like what 25 to 15-year-olds are looking for when like they go to the movies. It's really incredible. I think they probably do that better than anyone else working today. I don't know. What do y'all think?
I mean, look at Into the Spider-Verse. I mean, there's nothing bad you can say about it. Like they literally made
it's a perfect
movie for adults to walk into and also for kids to walk into. My nephews were just as obsessed with that movie as I am, and they at the time that movie dropped were 11 and 12, and I was like 31, and we were both equally obsessed with this film. I mean, nobody does that. You can't make movies that appeal to people that are 20 years apart in that same way. Like that, they're just good. They're just amazing. I just understand it.
That's why I'm so upset that they got kicked off of that Solo film, the Han Solo film.
I still like Solo, but I always wonder what it could have been had they been able to finish their vision. Solo's good. I can go back and rewatch it, but it's not like Rogue One level of, oh my God, this is the greatest shit of all time. It's not like that good.
It all comes back to the mouse.
Make what we want, huh?
And I bet you Disney...
I'll break your kneecaps.
I bet you Disney definitely regressed that decision just to see what they've done afterwards. Have been like, damn, even if the movie didn't turn out good, like having that name on that project is going to make people go back and revisit just because they've been so hot recently and what they've been doing.
Disney and even Marvel do that all the time where they'll somebody weird will come in and have a vision and they just go, oh, that's too out there for us to actually do. And they'll fight. Like Edgar Wright was supposed to be, he was supposed to do an Ant-Man movie and he got kicked off of it for creative differences. They do that shit all the time. And then it comes back and they're like, maybe we shouldn't have done that. And that's why Taika Waititi got hired to do Thor, because they're like, all right, maybe we start giving these awesome filmmakers shit room to.
They were like, Thor fucking sucks. Let's get weird. And then it worked.
Yeah. And it worked perfectly because they had nothing to lose because Thor had already sucked. Like we tried a traditional Thor. We tried to do it in the way that we thought would be commensurate with the rest of the MCU. And it just completely sucked. So let's just have somebody come in and try something fucking different. And Thor Ragnarok is very different. It halfway doesn't make sense at times, but it's just fucking fun. It's just so much fun. And I hopefully, hiring people like Chloe Zhao and people that are just making weird shit will just be more lenient and more open to hearing other people's ideas, because we need some weird shit in the MCU, because at some point we're going to get superhero movie fatigue. And the way that you kind of stem the tide is to give us a bunch of weird shit. Put our favorite superheroes into weird genres. We want to see Westerns. We want to see scary movies. We want to see action movies. Like, give us just start making weird shit that feeds into the larger storyline. And that's what WandaVision was. That's why people liked it. Like, WandaVision is just weird something. Shit. Yeah.
I will say what's interesting about this is, thank God, and I mean, Sony's a huge studio. Obviously, they've fucked up with like the Marvel stuff, and sometimes they make stinkers from some of their superhero properties, obviously. But like their animated shit recently has been really, really good.
Bangers on bangers on bangers.
And so the fact that they keep putting out good movies is really awesome for the animated industry, which needs more parity, if we're being honest. Like, Disney and Pixar just completely running look, Disney shill. Like, I'm surprised I haven't seen Raya and the Last Dragon like day one, but like the thing, I will watch a Pixar movie day one every single time. But having that parity, like having other studios, and DreamWorks did it for a while, but I haven't seen a great.
How to Train Your Dragon, those movies are good, but it was inconsistent. DreamWorks didn't give us something every year, every other year that was just like a banger like that. They didn't.
Yeah, and so if Sony can get on that roll, which they've done with Spider-Verse, and now I feel like this movie is, I think that's really good for this medium of filmmaking, which is obviously you can do whatever you want.
Competition.
Oh, I need it so bad. Give me Emoji Movie 2. That's what everybody wants.
Oh my god.
Was that a Sony movie or is that a DreamWorks?
No, it's actually a Sony movie. This is what America needs.
I've never seen a second of those films, but I'm sure they're bad.
Neither have I. There's only one film. But they also did Hotel Transylvania, and for parents, it's actually a pretty funny movie.
Oh, I heard those were good.
They're pretty good. They're pretty damn good.
I saw Hotel Transylvania 3 in theaters, and yeah, it's pretty good.
Adam Sandler's highest grossing films, Hotel Transylvania.
Oh, I thought that would have been a crazy.
# support Abby Jacobson, because we need to see her in more stuff.
She was brilliant in this. I think she's
really good.
Very good in this, and of course, Broad City is criminally underrated.
You know what it made me think? Why was Abby Jacobson not a character in Booksmart? Like, why?
She's too old.
It's perfect. So, she doesn't have to be a student. She could literally just be like a character in the movie. If they make another Booksmart movie, they have to put her in it. Like, she literally can just play the same character she plays in Broad City.
Is she in Doc McStuffins, the animated series on Disney Plus for kids?
She is?
No, I'm asking, is she?
No, she is an animated voice.
I don't know who the hell y'all are talking about.
What else?
I gotta be honest, I have no idea who the hell this is.
Have y'all never seen Broad City? Have you two of you never seen Broad City?
I only watch Doc McStuffins.
Only watch Bluey.
Y'all, please watch Broad City tonight. It's on Hulu. That shit is hilarious.
Doc McStuffins.
It's like if Atlanta met Curb Your Enthusiasm, except for at the center of it are two white women who are crazy. It is the funniest shit ever, man.
It was supposed to be the follow-up to like Workaholics and stuff. I don't know if it got much play as Workaholics, but it is they're very funny in that show.
Man, that show is fun. It's one of those shows that you can just put on any random episode because there's barely like a plot between the episodes. You can just put on any random episode and then go for the ride. That shit is hilarious.
But yeah, she's starting to get a lot of animated voice work, which is also really cool. But she is Disenchantment on Netflix. She is, I think, one of the characters on the animated series Disenchantment.
I want to keep seeing her and stuff. That makes me happy that she's getting consistent work because I think she's very funny. I thought she crushed this. I thought she was great.
Now, I don't want to get too far into the weeds, and I know we touched on it a little bit, but like I still can't get over how well they incorporated LGBTQ plus character into this movie, into a children's movie, without making it the main story. Yeah, without making it the main story or harping on it, or even parents. I mean, obviously Matt was like, "Oh, I didn't even see it," so like it without even like Republican parents causing a stink. So like what I don't know. I think that's because Disney has been trying to do this for years, where they're just like, how do we get gay people in Star Wars. And it's just like,
That's actually the subject line of an email that I FOIA'd just now.
yeah, like how do we have two women kiss in Star Wars? And you're just like,
Okay, can you please stop looking at my search history? Can you stop, please? How do I turn off remote control of my desktop?
oh man, Jesus. But yeah, it's just so fuck Matt. But yeah, it's just so they've been trying to do that for years, and you've seen it every single time where it's like they did it in Avengers where it's like, how was your date? Well, he was, and you're just like, all right, I don't know.
People on Twitter will be like, they're gay, right? They're gay. See, they're gay. We found it, guys. They're gay. And then somebody from Disney will be like, no, guys, they're not gay. Don't say that. You can't say that.
Yeah, I don't know. Do y'all have any thoughts on that? I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but I'm blown away by that. Where
I hope that it sets a trend of like, hey, like you could have gay characters and stuff, especially kids stuff, and it's not that big of a deal. And that doesn't mean that you can't make a movie specifically about like a gay person's struggle or like a gay character. But this movie was obviously not about this girl's sexuality, but they're just like, hey, here's one of the things that makes her different. Clearly, she was positioned to be different. She's different than the rest of her family. She's different than all the people she knew in high school. And she was finally going to have this coming of age moment where she finally was around people who understood her and got her, not just because she liked movies, but also just because she was gay. And so, you don't have to make it like the biggest deal in the world. And that in itself is progress, because like it doesn't have to be the biggest thing in the whole movie that somebody happens to be gay. Like it's not that it's like, it doesn't have to be the center focus. That doesn't mean it can't be, but you can definitely put it in there, and it doesn't have to be a big deal, because most of the kids that they're marketing these movies towards do not give a shit about whether their favorite characters are gay or not. It's just stupid adults who get on the internet and get mad at shit.
Yeah, either they don't care at all, or they're like actively seeking out gay main characters.
Exactly.
So like,
you're weird.
Yes, who cares? I will say though, I really appreciated them like putting in a storyline that she fell in love with a girl from Facebook basically before going to college, because I was like, I relate. Been there.
I'm gonna meet you at Line Camp. What's up?
Hey, don't talk bad about people who met their spouse at line camp, please.
Wow.
Let's don't do that real quick, please.
Is that what happened? Actually, if we're being honest,
1,000%. 1,000%.
Wow, incredible.
I mean, Royden can't talk shit because like his first date with his now fiance was tortilla tossing. So it's
that's a perfect first date.
No, I'm right there. I mean, you sink one, you meet your
nobody knows what that means. I'm just gonna tweet
tortilla toss. Do not do that.
Yeah, I'm
who's the better tortilla tosser?
Trying to get my
you say that without
tossed.
You say that without context, it holds a completely different meaning.
Who was the best tortilla tosser?
Oh, my fiance.
Oh.
I can't think of a single thing.
That tweet sounds like a banger, man.
Caitlin is not whooping Royden's ass at. Like, I can't think of a single thing.
She can't talk movies with him, but that's probably about all.
Oh yeah, this useless piece of information. This useless thing. She's out there like saving lives as an ER nurse, and I'm sitting here like, hey, do you think like Steven Spielberg is like a good director? And you're just like, who gives a shit? No, I think yeah, she's definitely better at she's better than me at 98% of things.
Well, that means that you married up. Congratulations. Well, you're not you're marrying up.
Yeah, well, and then but if you need me around to like quote a Vine reference, man, I'm there. I'm your guy. Royden, what was that TikTok that you saw? I got it.
You're like springing action. Finally!
Yeah,
finally. You need me.
I'm here. Yeah, so just getting back to it, and I think the interesting thing with this story is the main, I mean, the story is kind of but like the main difference that she has with her dad is that her dad is like dumb dad syndrome that they put in every single movie.
It's fucked up, and we're pissed off, and we're not going to take it anymore. So that's why I've started my own social networking site.
Does your wife have the login?
Called Father, FTHR. And you have to share your driver's license to be a verified member.
FTH Fatter?
Father, FTHR. Father. Shut up.
No, so I think the main thing here is basically like her dad can't log into YouTube, and that's their main difference. In the hands of like a less equipped writer, it'd be like, oh, I don't know if again, it is a kid's movie, but it's just like, I don't know if I agree with her sexuality, but it's just,
Nah, her dad the whole time was basically like, get a job, you bum. You're not going to be a movie director.
When she was making like elite YouTube videos that the Apple CEO was watching.
Yeah, like if the fucking CEO of Apple is like, oh, I love this girl's movie videos, that probably means something. But you shouldn't have to have the literal CEO of Apple or whatever the pal to tell you that your kid's shit is good before you start to like invest in her art. But I get it. It's just like the arc that the character goes on. But I think the whole strained relationship with dad thing is a cool period of exploration, but I thought it really failed every time they dug deeper into it and you saw why their relationship was strained. I didn't think that it was.
Why?
Because I thought the dad was so unreasonable. And that doesn't mean that he doesn't hold true for some people's dads. Obviously, the people that wrote this are drawing inspiration from somewhere, including maybe their own dads or other people in their family. But I just thought it was so, and I know you have to like make these things more simple to understand for kids, but the dad didn't feel human to me until after he had his redemption moment. Before that, he felt like a trope. And I was just like, what's up with the dad, bro? Like he's being so weird and so dismissive of the things that his little girl is into. And she's 17 or 18 now. Like she's about to leave and go off to college. She's already applying to film school. The whole get a job thing doesn't really make sense when your kid is quite literally already accepted to film school. She's
if my kid got into film school,
he's got into film school. That
like USC film school? What the fuck are you talking about?
That in itself is success. Like that in itself means that there could be some viability in this career for her. Like I found that weird. I found that to be kind of weird.
Well,
they hate us because they ain't us.
It is a typical like Midwestern or Southern dad where they like, I only know how to use a flip phone, and like I like to do things with my hands and set possum traps and shit. And that's the stereotypical dumbass dad that they put in these movies. But he's not as dumb as you think. He just doesn't know how to operate. It's just his skills are good for everyday life.
I'm hotter out here than my kids.
Good, though. His survivor skills were actually the only thing that he did well was make them carry around screwdrivers.
Yeah,
bro, that just made me realize like I'm hotter out here than my kids will ever be. Like, I'm gonna have a better social profile than my kids ever will.
Why do you think that?
I started this shit. You're just a copy of me. Like I just realized they'll never be as hot as us. This is good. No,
you weren't on AIM message boards.
That's not true. Your kids are gonna have like 5 million followers on TikTok, and they're gonna be like, "So what, Dad? You had fucking 3,000 followers on Twitter. Who the fuck goes on Twitter anymore? Nobody even knows
what's gonna happen."
Check this. They're gonna use this in court. I'm about to put my kid on Twitch and steal all his fucking money. Are you kidding me right now? They're gonna use that shit against me in court. I'm gonna
have him play like Resident Evil.
Exact. I'm gonna. Oh man, that's bad parenting. I'm gonna do it though for a nickel.
Have him scared as fuck and then upload his videos.
Absolutely, bro.
Like that kid that opens toys on YouTube. You're just
except opens trauma.
Yeah,
my stream.
I
can definitely just see your kids just like recording just weird shit you do around the house and going viral every single week.
All right, well that took a turn I didn't like that much.
It would be amazing.
Okay. God damn.
Dad's tweeting again today. He's sending bad tweets again.
I have to delete all my shit now.
Your kids are you're gonna be like yelling at your kids when you're like 48, like you aren't out here grinding, tweeting to 3,000 to no tweeting Baylor memes to
It's called networking.
Random memes to 5 people.
All for 7 likes.
The strength coach in front of the walls thing is one of the funniest things that I think you.
I gotta go buy a domain for that.
I
Yeah.
take it
Anyway,
y'all
continue.
all in for the sequel. If there's a sequel to this film, I take it y'all all in for the sequel.
We don't need that.
No, we don't need it. I never watched the
we
Cloudy
ever
with a
need
Chance.
sequels that we get, but we're getting it. If it's doing well,
Spider-Verse,
I have no way of
Spider-Verse,
knowing whether
I'm
it's
in.
doing well. I haven't heard enough people talking about this movie to think that maybe it's doing successful. I just know that it's good enough to where people should be watching it, but I don't know if people are actually watching it.
If this was in theaters, it would get a sequel. Sorry, Matt, but if this was in theaters, it would get a sequel. Just like Spider-Verse is going to get a sequel. Just like Lego Movie and every yada 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 all got a sequel.
Yep.
But like, there's no reason for Lego Movie to actually have a sequel. But they like built it up, and Lego is a huge brand. But like the thing, if this was in theaters, I think it'd be a different story. I think they're gonna give it a sequel, but we don't.
Y'all, it is not that complex. Did it show up black on the profit loss chart? Like that, if it showed up as black and made a profit, they're gonna make another one.
Yeah, they're gonna make another
I mean, there's no way to tell.
That's true too. We can't tell. But if I just
Netflix
can't believe that
is
nobody
gonna
knows.
lie.
Why aren't they marketing the movie, man? I don't get it. I didn't know what this movie
It's
was.
the Netflix problem.
Y'all told me like this is the movie that we're gonna watch for this week's episode. But why haven't I heard of this movie? I have a friend who works at Netflix. Like he didn't tell me. He tells me about dumb shit that's coming out that I will never watch. He didn't tell me about this movie.
If your Netflix account has watched one episode of Dino Trucks, they are marketing it to your ass. Like I'm just saying, it was right there in front of us.
I mean,
we
it's not
had no
marketed
choice.
it's not marketed for us, but it's like you want to watch like
the
the third.
algorithm.
You want to watch the third season of like Altered Carbon? No, I don't give a fuck.
But wait, but is that true though? Because I watched Spider-Verse used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it is anymore. If you watch Spider-Verse, why wouldn't they market? Why wouldn't this be front and center on my screen? I watched Spider-Verse like 11 times on Netflix. They should know that this is in my wheelhouse.
That doesn't even matter, Tej. They should be putting all the movies that they spend $150 million on to make on the front of their shit. Like, remember when it took us like an hour to search for Malcolm and Marie after a week?
Marie. Yep.
Yeah. It's like why?
This should be front and center. Y'all spent $1 million on it. Let us be able to find it very easily and let people fall into the movie because they might have forgot that it came out.
Yeah, fall ass backwards into this movie. Like, absolutely. Like, Matt, I know you're saying like if you're in the algorithm, like if you watched any sort of like Doc McStuffins or whatever,
you're not out here, man. I'm just saying you're not out. You're not out here. You're not out here watching 4 seasons of Octonauts. You're not out. You're not out here. You're not out here watching the Magic School Bus reboot.
I am not watching the reboot of that School Bus, but I am watching the original.
You're not out here watching Cupcake and Dino. You don't know.
Why are you watching the original? Hold on. Why are you watching the original Magic School Bus?
Y'all are too young to understand this, but the Magic School Bus is incredible television.
The original Magic
How
School Bus,
high?
baby.
You get high and watch the Magic School Bus and go inside of a human body and they're swimming up the bloodstream? Come on. You can't not like that.
Dog.
I just generally watch old cartoons when I get high. I watch a lot of Hey Arnold. I watch a lot of Doug.
That makes sense.
It's not really like
watching PBS.
It's not off brand for me. Like I watched one time, I got high and watched an episode of Wishbone, which was also before this time, but it was a great show.
They don't know about Wishbone.
Captain Planet.
They don't know about Wishbone.
Yeah, they don't know about
disrespect
Wishbone.
PBS, bro. Arthur is still a
PBS
banger
has some
to this
bangers.
day. Arthur still rings off to this day.
Somebody just rapped
does
over
Arthur
the
ring
intro.
off? Does Arthur ring off, or does Arthur ring up because you got memes from Arthur?
Arthur rings off, bro.
DJ taught everybody what. Man, DJ's my hero.
They had Rainbow. They had Wishbone.
She's my hero. Yeah, man.
Reading.
They don't know.
They had a lineup at one point, bro.
I'm just saying there are 2 Americas, and it's not the 2 Americas that Bomani Jones talks about. It is the 2 Americas where either you have a 3-year-old in the house or you don't, and that's what the 2 Americas are.
That's why you watch a lot of Doc McStuffins. That's my.
Yes, thank you. Hey, you put it together.
She's obsessed with Doc McStuffins.
There you go.
As a designated child haver, what did you think about the storyline in this movie? And then we'll kind of get moving along with our draft and such. Like did it make you shed a tear? Like the Maya he?
I'm extremely sensitive to like like heavy hand. Like I don't like it when you take a point and you just kind of heavy hand it with really just blunt dialogue. And this almost did that in a couple places. But otherwise, like TJ elaborated on, I like the concept, and the execution was pretty dang good. I liked it more than DJ did, but yeah, I had no issue with the technology portion, which apparently some people did.
Teach.
Yeah. So yeah, I very solid all around. I thought it was executed well. I think if they spent another 3 months on the script, and you know, another couple months in the editing bay, excuse me, it probably gets 15% better. But I think it was good.
When you watch these movies as like, obviously you're marketed to multi-generational people, but like when you watch these movies, like as a parent, do you like, come on, we don't have to do the kid growing up storyline again. How many times are you like, God damn it?
You just kind of go on autopilot because you're normally doing something else while the rest of the house is watching that. So you're just like, okay, what kernels are they throwing my way? That's kind of like, are they writing this, and are they parents? You can tell when it's parents writing it because it's parents write it in a way that, you know, it's just noticeable. And so I immediately go to the meta of what was being done behind the scenes. I don't care about the story most of the time. This one was good though.
I will say the scene with the Live Your Life scene when they're fighting the thing. I've watched that. It's on YouTube. You can go watch it. I think it's brilliantly done. I've watched that so many times actually. Now I just
wish they would have picked a different song, because that song annoys the shit out of me now.
I mean, it's perfect.
Song.
It's perfect for the time period when she would have been growing up then.
Yeah,
so.
You're
Y'all
right.
can't hate on that song. That song is great.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely can't hate on that song.
It is now my life's mission to only hate on that song.
First of all, we shouldn't be hating on any Rihanna music because she's not giving us new music. So we have to appreciate the stuff she did give us. And second of all, that song is great. It
Rihanna, let's get it.
It is what it is.
But yeah, the mother showing up and she'd be like, "Mom's scary now," is a very funny joke.
Yeah, the mom just going all Kill Bill out of nowhere. It was incredible content. I love that shit.
Brothers
Amazing
Run
content.
is such a funny, and they're just like, "Oh no."
She grows agitated.
I'm so happy that Dex got to pick up on that reference because he's seen Kill Bill now. That made me really happy.
Yeah, I can connect these dots. Yes.
Yeah, I thought that the Live Your Life scene is incredible. But anyway, yeah, that is the Mitchells versus the Machines. It's on Netflix.
Go watch it, y'all.
Go watch it.
If you have kids, it's enjoyable. Go watch the movie.
Yeah, for sure. Go watch it.
The first good thing to watch on Netflix since...
Hey, the new season of The Circle just ended, so you can go watch that as well. It's still amazing.
And
It's
for
a really
the
dumb
husbands
show, but
out
it's
there,
amazing.
yeah, for the husbands out there, you probably already know about Shadow and Bone, which is not the worst shit TV out right now. So
what was the British
Bridgerton?
Bridgerton?
Chefs.
Yeah,
Bridgerton.
the Queen's Gambit is what I would say.
Queen's Gambit was a fucking banger. So yeah.
Do y'all remember that portion of quarantine where like, Tiger King, Queen's Gambit, chess, we're all gonna buy a chess set and play for 2 weeks.
I did buy
Tigers. And we're gonna buy chess.
That's why I said that shit on this very specific point.
Most eclectic. Like, why do you have a tiger in 25 chess sets?
It just feels like it was ages ago. That was just 12 months. That's all.
There's a part of the pandemic where we were like so down bad that we were like the main character of Queen's Gambit. We're like, would maybe what? Anya Taylor-Joy. Everyone was having that discussion.
Yeah, is she hot or do I just like her as a chess player? And
Yeah, we were down bad because we were having that discussion like so openly on Twitter, just like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday. Like, is Anya Taylor-Joy hot? I don't know. Maybe. Let's discuss.
Yeah. So we are going to do a draft, best non-Pixar, Disney Pixar movie draft right after this ad break from Apollo Houston. Now let's do this draft. Dex, do you have a?
So we're doing non-Pixar, non-Disney animated movies.
Yes,
and it's a 15-round draft, is what y'all told me.
4.
Okay, 4. We can do 4.
We're gonna go Matt, Dex, Royden, Teej.
Damn it!
I really
I
have
got
to
the
go
double
first.
pick at the end.
I'm gonna get so. Oh no, I'm gonna get so flamed. No matter what pick, it's gonna be the wrong pick. Okay. We can go like what was the most influential. We can go
Or the best. You could
classic, the best. I think I'm going to go with non-Pixar, right?
Yep, non-Pixar,
Yes.
non-Disney.
Non-Disney. Damn. Because all of the ones that pop up are I had it up for a second. It's recency bias, and I'm going to play to the audience here. Okay, but I am going to take Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Damn it!
Yeah.
No, that's the right pick.
Yes, it is. It's absolutely right.
It's
That's
the
right
pick that I will never be like destroyed for in the press. So I'll keep my job as GM for another year.
Nice.
It is. That is. I'm not kidding. A perfect film. I think it is an
seriously.
I think it's absolutely it's 100 out of 100. It is one of the best movies one of the best theater experiences I think I've ever seen. And no one was in the theater when I went and saw it, which was a shame. That movie should have made $1 billion.
I think I would have taken it even if we were able to draft Pixar and Disney movies. It's that good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for my pick, you made it easier by taking Into the Spider-Verse, but I'm gonna take just a classic. It's probably the one that like the DreamWorks movie. I'm gonna go with Shrek. It's
Yep.
Strong.
just hilarious to this day. Her like Fiona like transforming into an ogre or whatever is like a neat little cute story or whatever, but just Mike Myers was just on 10 that entire fucking movie. Eddie Murphy was on 10 that entire movie. It's just incredible. And the sequels, they get worse and worse, but they're all still pretty decent watches.
I would argue Shrek 2 is just as good, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
The most interesting thing about Shrek is that Chris Farley had voiced most of the movie and then tragically passed away. But then Mike Myers was like, I want to do a Scottish accent. And they had to reanimate the entire movie.
Wow. And
It's just like
Chris Farley as Shrek would have been hilarious as well. Very different movie, but hilarious obviously.
Mm-hmm. My next pick is recency bias, but Lego movie. I think it redefined what the kind of comedy that you can do in these movies is.
It's a great movie boy word is redefined. I love that.
I'm here for it. I'm right here. I really did, and the fact that it didn't get nominated for best animated picture because of the Will Ferrell scene is horrendous. Like, come on, Academy, what are you doing?
I definitely remember being in the movie theater for the Will Ferrell scene and being like, "Oh shit, that's Will Ferrell." It worked exactly as it was intended.
President Business is an awesome movie title.
The Craggle.
All right, I got two. So I'm gonna take from my first pick. I'm gonna take Despicable Me, and those films are amazing and hilarious.
The first one's good.
I like all of them, even the Minions one. They all make me laugh.
You like the Minions movie,
bro? The Minions are hilarious. The soundtracks are always big fire. Thank you, Pharrell. I just love the characters. I just like that everything's kind of turned on its head. I really like Despicable Me a lot. And then for my second pick, I'm gonna go Shrek 2, which I think is a hair below Shrek 1, but still pretty damn funny. I'm gonna take Shrek 2.
The jokes per minute in Shrek 2 are in the referential humor in Shrek is they get like filmed on an episode of Cops.
Yeah.
That shit is funny. He's like, we got some catnip. Oh, that's not mine.
Oh, that's not mine.
Oh man. Let's see. There's a few that I could go with here. I don't know. Like, of course, all these movies are weird, and I'm just gonna have to take it. Spirited Away. I'm not the biggest fan of Spirited Away. I just have to take it for the graphic. I get it.
I watched it for the first time.
I get it.
Last year, and yeah, I get it. It's not one of my favorites or whatever. I don't think I'm gonna watch it again anytime soon. But yeah, it's weird, but it's fun and it's like engrossing. It just works.
It's kind of a tough watch, though.
Yeah,
to be honest.
But it just works. You just keep watching it. You're like, what the fuck is gonna happen now?
Yeah, I mean, I and all of those studio Ghibli films are, of course, like renowned, and
Everybody loves them.
I need to watch more. They're all on HBO Max, which is an incredible pull by HBO Max being like, we're just gonna take these. But yeah, so I need to watch all of those, and I haven't because I'm a dumb American. But Dex, next.
I have to. Okay, yeah, this is another DreamWorks movie from 1998. Grew up on it at the daycare. Shout out to The Prince of Egypt.
Hell yeah.
That movie is a banger.
I love that movie, dude. The soundtrack is great. The cast is great. Probably weird that they're playing Egyptians, but still great. Val Kilmer, Michelle Pfeiffer, Sandra Bullock, Jeff Goldblum, Danny Glover, Patrick Stewart, Steve Martin. This cast is incredible. Hans Zimmer did the music. Like, that shit is stacked for a kid's movie, and it works. I love it.
There was something like that was DreamWorks' first animated movie. Like, DreamWorks had just came out, and that was their first animated movie or something like that. And then there was a push to try and get Ants out, and the director of DreamWorks went over to Disney, and they were like, "Let's make Bugs Life."
Yeah,
I was like, we can't get washed by these people over it at DreamWorks. Anyway, Matt, 2 picks.
Man, I have a lot of different directions I can go here. I can go influential. I can go the fan favorite. I can go artsy and really well done. Or I can just go super weird pick that only I would appreciate and probably taking 3 rounds too early.
Ooh, do that one.
Do that one? All right, we're going to go Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, yep.
Okay. So just taking notes here. Knew that was y'all don't even know about Wallace and Gromit.
Is Chicken Run in there with you also?
Shut up, man. Can we not talk about my picks?
Shaun the Sheep?
No, not Shaun the Sheep. But I am going to go with more of a fan favorite one. Got to get my trust from the owner back. We're going to go with the Iron Giant.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Meant to
Just
pick that earlier.
Good one.
Foundational to the animated movie industry, I would believe.
Movie's sad as shit.
Not great, but very good.
Oh man. All right.
So yeah, those are my 2 picks. Wallace and Gromit and then the Iron Giant. Look, I love Wallace and Gromit. Shut up.
Sure.
No judgment here. Haven't seen it enough to really judge it. I have seen it, but do I remember it? No. I keep wanting to pick things and then realizing that they're actually Disney movies that I just forgot were Disney movies.
Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a Disney movie.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with stalling for time. How have these not been picked yet? How to Train Your Dragon.
Fuck, that was my next pick. One of them.
Those movies are so good. Literally all of them are incredible. The trailer for the third one gave away literally the entire movie, which was weird. But both How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2 were like truly surprising with just how fucking delightful they were to watch in the movie theater. I just didn't expect that from DreamWorks. I was like, this movie is gonna be dumb. I know they're gonna sell all their dragon toys and they're gonna be in like kids' meals or whatever, and that'll be it. And I watched it and I was like, wait, I actually really like this as a like late stage teenager. Like, it's actually a really good movie. So
People love those movies.
yeah, How to Train
They're
Your Dragon.
amazing.
My next pick is just a completely inaccurate film, kind of harmful to people's knowledge of history. But Anastasia,
Yeah.
it is.
It's still really good.
It's still very good. Yeah, still incredibly good. Incredible voice cast: Meg Ryan, John Cusack, Christopher Lloyd, Kelsey Grammer, Hank Azaria, Kirsten Dunst. Yeah, it's a great movie. Also very funny, but very inaccurate.
Great soundtrack too.
Mm-hmm. Teach 2 picks.
All right, last 2 picks. We're gonna go with All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Wow.
Of mine. Love that movie as a kid.
Mel Gibson banger. I see where you're going.
It's a great movie, but even though I hate Mel Gibson, fuck Mel Gibson. And I've been trying to figure out my one.
Wait, I thought he was in that movie. No, he's not. It's Burt Reynolds. Sorry.
Oh, good. Much.
Thought it was. Sorry, I thought it was Mel Gibson was in that movie.
My next one isn't really a kids movie, so I'm gonna skip it, and I'm gonna go to pick a movie that everybody likes a little bit more than me, but I still see why people like it. And I'm gonna go to Nightmare Before Christmas.
That is a Disney movie, friend.
Wait, is that a Disney movie?
That is a Disney movie.
Okay, never mind. I'll go with my original pick.
I originally thought that it was not as well, so you're not alone.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't as well, but I don't know enough to know that.
It's on Disney Plus. It has to be, right?
Oh, well, that's a pretty good indicator that's a Disney movie. I'm going with The Pebble and the Penguin. That film is awesome. It's a sweet love story. I really like it. I remember loving it as a kid. So I'm gonna go Pebble and the Penguin.
I've
never heard of it.
Nope.
Wow.
It came out in 95.
Well,
Oh, okay. That's my excuse. Okay.
What do I go with here? What do I go with? Because there's a few directions you can go. You can take the ones that spawned a series. There's an animated film called Muhammad and the Last Prophet. Okay. Hadn't seen that one. Let's see. You took Iron Giant, Ants. Nah.
Hey, it turns out there's a lot more animated movies than just Disney.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kung Fu Panda.
I'm surprised I made it this long.
Yeah, a fun family. I'm looking at some of the more mature, maybe even foreign animated movies. There's a lot out there, man.
Surprisingly spanned 8 years and 3 movies that they made out of that thing. But yeah, Kung Fu Panda's. I got to go back and actually watch that eventually. That is funny. That movie is really very funny.
It holds up. It's really good.
All right, Dex.
All right, last. I'm pretty sure this is not a Disney movie. Very recent. Don't know if a ton of people actually saw it, but it's really good, and it's like a really interesting animation style, art style, whatever it's actually called. Don't get mad at me, animation nerds. But Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh, that was right during the middle of the reconnaissance.
Oh,
yeah. I really like that movie. I didn't expect to like it. Somebody told me this is actually pretty good. You should watch it. And I was like, well, I don't have anything else to do. And you're hot and I want to have sex with you. So I watched this movie that you like. But I actually really like the movie. So, wins.
That's great ratings.
Wins. Yeah, Kubo and the Two Strings. It's actually really fun. And it's it's about a kid who's lost and finds a guitar that's magic and is trying to get home, and it's adorable and fun and cool. Might be
stop motions. I don't know, because I should have taken the Fantastic Mr. Fox, but Matt.
I another 2 picks, right?
One more.
Oh, one more. That's right. That's right. The Secret Life of Pets, man. Just
really.
Oh, those are so good.
Fabulous movie. For kids and adults alike, man. Absolutely fabulous movie.
I'm confident
in my 4. It legitimately laugh out loud funny.
Big Louis C.K. supporter over here.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, that yeah. Okay. If you can get past that watching it, which is admittedly like a 10-second hurdle I have to jump every single time I turn on the movie. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Only the second one with Patton Oswalt replacing him.
Yeah, the second one is actually not that bad either. So,
movies we didn't take. I should have Fantastic Mr. Fox. If you wanted to count that as a animated film, of course I will. I think I'll count that as an animated film. Let's see. Anything other that we're missing? Of course, all the studio. South Park, bigger, longer, uncut.
I almost took that. That's the one I said it's not a kids movie, but I almost took it.
An American Tale, 5-all.
Yeah, shout out.
Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron.
My Neighbor Totoro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that one, but I've heard good things.
There's Rango. People love this one. Rango with Johnny with Beep. Let's see.
One that I loved as a kid, but I haven't seen since I was a child. Flushed Away.
Oh yeah. Do y'all remember the terrible?
Oh, you mean Sausage Party?
Oh yeah, that one. I love Sausage Party. Actually,
legitimately a horrible movie. Just so bad.
I'm not gonna lie though. We didn't take any. We were thinking kind of like big studio films. We didn't take any of the DC animated movies, which are all.
Oh, that's true. They're all really good.
Most are objectively great, actually, which is incredible that they're so good at that.
So bad at live action.
Yeah,
those animated movies. Teen Titans Go to the Movies is amazing.
Dude, that movie was so good.
Oh no, his dad is a cop. It's so funny.
All right, I have a couple honorable mentions here.
Go for it.
Was I the last to pick?
Yeah.
Yes. And the first to pick. See how that works?
Oh, I guess so. So we're donezo. Okay, yeah, I guess so. Ice Age.
Mm-hmm.
Very strong. The Simpsons movie. Very strong.
Yeah, I actually love the Simpsons movie.
We still tell my sister, whose name is Maggie, because of that movie. We tell her, Maggie, you were the best accident that ever happened.
And yeah, those were the big ones, but a lot of good stuff out there. Man, a lot of good stuff out there.
Turns out there is just more than people love. Coraline, did y'all ever watch that one?
Oh yeah, it wasn't my bag, but like I knew why people liked it.
All of the Tim Burton like animated shit is just not up my alley.
All the goth girls I had a crush on in middle school really liked that movie.
Oh man, Sword in the Stone. Anybody remember the ass film Dinosaurs? That animated weird film,
pretty weird.
Where they were about to get hit by a meteor.
Yeah, we tried to turn that on here at the house, and it just did not give everybody a good energy.
No, there was a movie that it was. I don't even know if it was was it a Disney movie? Dinosaurs. Look it up. It is the weirdest uncanny valley, but it's Dinosaur 2000. It is it's a Walt Disney movie, and it is just terrible. Actually, you know what? I had to show you if you haven't seen it.
Oh, I do remember this.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Movie.
Big garbage.
2000. It is terrible ass CGI. Hold on. Share screen.
What's the fish movie with Will Smith and Angelina Jolie?
That's what I was about
Shark Tale.
Yeah, that one.
Awful ass CGI.
I love how they put Rex from Toy Story right next to him.
Yeah. They tried to make this into a movie. He has like human teeth.
I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks.
And then they get like hit by an asteroid in the very end.
Don't we all?
Kids love that.
Yeah. Ugh. Ew. No, thank you. Like, what the fuck is this thing?
Yeah, I'm making a meme out of that. Hold on 1 second.
What the fuck is this thing? This is Matt after viewing Mrs. Incredible.
Yeah, exactly. Posting for meme potential. There we go.
All right. That has been a One Take Podcast, episode 64, Mitchell's versus Machines. Matt, tell them where they can find your tweets.
Unfortunately, at Matt is bear, just like it sounds. No spaces.
Are you we doing any podcasts recently?
There's probably been a dabbling in the Baylor sports world for Our Daily Bears. There might be some upcoming Twitch streams here as the Mass Effect video game gets remastered and released on Friday. So twitch.tv/Matt is bear, I guess. That's about it. Don't invest any more time than that, for sure.
Also, two incredibly cute dogs that you can see here in this.
Good dogs. Good dogs. The younger dog's been dick out the entire stream, so I hope that doesn't get you guys taken down.
The entire stream. Good
Lord. Pretty much.
Oh, that doesn't get you guys taken down.
All right, Dex, what are we doing?
Hashtag support Florence Pugh. You already know what it is. We say this every week because I'm trying to tell you people, Florence Pugh got next. She's the young goat. Get in fucking line. Get on the hype train. The MCPU is coming. July 9th, go see Black Widow in theaters. We back outside. And shop Apollo HOU. ApolloHOU.com.
Big shout out ApolloHOU.com.
Promo code OneTakePod, ONETAKEPOD for 10% off. The flyest Houston merch you've ever seen. Just do it. Make your life better. Thank you.
Brian McTaggart previewed the Cry Kid Summer t-shirt. Big fire. Big fire.
Incredible.
Yeah. So ApolloHOU.com. You can find us at the One Take Podcast on Apple, Google, as well as Spotify. I know a lot of you listen to us on Spotify, but if you can go rate us on Apple, it's all on your phone. You all have an iPhone. You do not have those green text. No one
takes
does.
15 seconds. Like, just go do it. Damn.
Just go do. Damn. Go rate us on iTunes. I know a few of you have done that recently. We really appreciate it, including like 3 of TJ's friends. So that's actually really cool. But we really appreciate that. And go find us there. You can find us at One Take Pod on Twitter and Instagram, as well as our YouTube channel here, also Apollo HOU Twitch. So go follow us on those. And I will say this again. We're out. We out.
Peace.
Onlyfans.com/our or whatever, not our little podcast.
Thanks, Matt. You were awesome.
One Take Pod. Oh, appreciate it, man.
As always, as all-time guest, Matthew is bear.
Nah.
I don't like Matthew is bear. It has to be Matt.
Low standards.
Adding the Matthew part, it just messes it up.
No, I'm not gonna lie though. You were on the podcast when we took a turn to be like, all right, we're just gonna say whatever we want to on this podcast.
You're either one of two things. You are either real or all the way buttoned up. Anything in between just is not gonna